さあ行きましょう。 Ayan.
It's race day and our drivers are all out on the grid
So, good
performing
morning
their final
again,
checks
mga
before we
tao.
get
Well,
underway here at the Bahrain
we'll
International
do this
Circuit. We'll
off
be
cam.
racing around 3.36 miles of the magnificent Bahrain
You're
International
watching
Circuit
F1
today. Keep an
2020.
eye out for drivers
So we
locking the front left down
will
into the tricky braking zone of turn 10.
do the first race of the season of the 2021 calendar. So we know that uh, all-time favorite, one of the
With
greatest
the race
drivers
minutes
today
away from
is
starting, here's
Lewis
what today's grid
Hamilton.
rundown looks like. A fantastic
And
effort from Charles
dito
Leclerc
ginamit ko
yesterday puts him
is
on pole, and
the
Lewis
Ferrari
Hamilton
of
completes the
Charles
front row.
Leclerc.
Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Verstappen, Bottas, Alexander Albon, and
So, yeah.
Ricciardo, Norris, Vettel, Gasly, and Lance Stroll, Sainz, Perez, Esteban Ocon, and Kvyat, Magnussen,
So
Grosjean, Kimi
they'll
Räikkönen,
introduce
and
first
George
the
Russell, Giovinazzi,
starting grid.
and Nicholas
So yan.
Latifi. It's almost time for
So
the
this is
lights to
the
go out,
2020
so let's head down to the
roster.
track and get
So
this
wala pa
Grand Prix
yung
underway.
wala pa kasi yung F1 2021. So I think it will be released by, I don't know if hindi ko matanda kung anong taon i-release ang 2021 F1 2021. So we will use the 2020 season. So ayan. Ano pa ba kailangan kong gawin dito? Ba. So we will use the car setup. So we will gonna use the full tank. Yan. So yan. Ayan na. Oops. Hindi ko pa naayos pala to. So, we will restart again the session. Bira ako. Hindi ko pa naayos to. Kaya sabi ko parang may mali. So we will read your comments later. Kung may medyo maluwag. So I set this race. Oh! Ba yan? Eh. Mali. Ba yan? Mali agad yung ano ko. Sorry, na-restart ko ulit. Hindi ko pa naayos kasi may itong settings na to. Ayun na, naunahan ako ni Lewis Hamilton. And so this is only a game. So don't expect na itong nangyari kagabi. Ayun na.
That's a strong start. Well done.
Banggain mo kapag unahan ka. Sabi ni Dave. So, di ko gagawin yun, syempre. We will use the standard settings at kapag mali lang dito ay nasira yung sasakyan and also mape-penalize ako. So I'm using Charles Leclerc here dito sa race. As you know na from the past season, Ferrari is one of the most biggest cars on the 2020 calendar, and this start of the season, as you have watched yesterday, I think they will be on the middle packers of the league of the season because they have young stars in Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz Jr., son of former WRC World Champion Carlos Sainz. Ayan. So we will use time by time. Sana magkaroon ng ng improvement. So thank you again, Dave, sa pagdalaw. Ayan. So after this, we will view also the highlights, the full race. Kasi since today, yan yung ginagawa natin is I am controlling the Ferrari car. And after this, we will show you the full race itself, na hindi yung ganito nasa driver's seat. So hindi tayo masyado makaka-focus on reading the commentaries.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the mediums.
So, you know that, nag-start na yung DRS zone. So, any car behind within 1 second, so they could activate the DRS or the drag reduction zone system. So, yeah. So currently, I'm using a game controller kasi hindi pa rin ako sanay sa tawag dito, steering wheel. I'm using steering wheel since I purchased that, and unfortunately hanggang ngayon hindi ko pa rin siya magamay because of the force feedback. Napaka-tindi ng force feedback nitong game. Kaya so I'm only playing this with 25% of the total race, full race. So kaya napansin nyo, it's only 14 laps, in which more than 60 laps yata to in the actual race. So yan, yung full race to full race coverage. Yan. So I'm currently using a soft tires. Normally sa start ng race naman, after ng qualifying, kung ano yung last na ginamit mong gulong, set of tires, so it will be used at the start of the race itself. So it will be depending on the pit lane strategy na kung ano yung gagamitin mo afterwards. Pero normally ang set naman sa ganitong setup in a dry race, so the team using ultra soft, then soft tires, and then medium tsaka hard. So yung line dun sa gulong, is red. So, meaning ginagamit niya is the soft tires. Then, yung yellow is the medium ones. At yung white dun sa gulong is the hard compound tires. Long lasting, but dun sa hard tires, so long lasting but lesser grip. So yan yun. So sa ngayon, ginagamit ko is the soft tire, so much grip.
This lap. Push hard on the in-lap.
Much better yung grip sa soft tires, but medyo siya, medyo mahirap medyo mabilis ang tire wear. Ayan. So far so good naman. Ayan, medyo nakokontrol ko pa yung car. So as you can see sa 20 yung actual F1 race, so medyo yan yung isa sa mga hindi ko naman din masabi, exciting din, pero for now yung recent na F1 season, so medyo nagiging boring na. As you know that Mercedes dominated the league.
You're going to start losing some tire grip around now.
I know. Balik. Mano yung gulong. So pit stop, this lap, pit stop, this lap. Unfortunately, we need to pit stop at lap 6. And after this, we will use this all along. Ayan. So hindi ko alam kung makukuha ko pa yung lead after this.
Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross over into the track.
So we will have to focus on the race now, and we will use this all the way. Personally, I'm an F1 fanatic ever since. So bata pa lang ako, I've been watching Formula 1 since my childhood. So as you know that the 80s were dominated by McLaren. Most of the 80s by Ayrton Senna and Alan Prost.
Sebastian's in for his stop.
So during the 80s also will be the last championship held by Niki Lauda before he passed.
Fuel is at target +3. Let's get into mix 3 ASAP. Our gap to the car in front is 3.7 seconds.
The team consultant of Mercedes. Also, Nelson Piquet also had his title reign in the 80s, and Keke Rosberg, son of also F1 champion Nick Rosberg. So yeah, but most of the decade were dominated by McLaren Honda. Yeah, little bit of trivia. So, yeah. So and then in the 90s,
Car behind has boxed for the mediums. Car behind on the medium tyre.
So in the 90s naman, you know that one of the emerging stars of that decade is Michael Schumacher, who drove first with the Jordan in 91, then tawag dito, with Benetton in 94 and 95 before joining Ferrari. Ayan. Ayan na. Iniwasan natin mabangga. Ayan. DRS activated. So, ayan. So I gain the lead again.
We're pulling out to second the lap on the car behind.
We have to take care of the tires because it will not last long, and we will use these up to the finish line. So yan, nasa likod ko na si Max Verstappen. So for now, I'm focusing on my race and not on the back markers. Ayan. Pero ang hirap din because kaka-pit stop lang ni Max Verstappen. So as you know, this 2020 season, medyo isa sa mga tinitingala nun is Ferrari, but pagdating doon sa race, yun na, nagkakaroon na ng problema because from the previous seasons, kahit dati pa, so they were, most of the teams were criticizing Ferrari of cheating. So yan. Because they have a great top speed within the straights. At yan ang isa sa mga nirereklamo ng Mercedes. Pero syempre, walang napatunayan ng ang FIA. But nung 2020, so dami nangyari, pandemic and other changes. So yan. Tapos ngayong 2021, as you know na nagkaroon na ng budget cut. So dati trigger happy ang mga dominating teams. Ngayon nilimit na lang sa 150 million dollars budget cap para sa lahat ng operations saka sa improvement ng sasakyan. So yun. So other teams, especially in the the weaker teams, medyo inano na nila yun. They take full advantage of it. But since first race pa lang naman kahapon, so hindi pa natin malalaman. So the whole season will cover, I think, 21 races. Ayan. Ayan na, lumalapit na ang nasa likuran ko. Verstappen, nasa likuran ko na. Kailangan ko lang kailangan maganda yung aking entrada sa mga palko, especially yung curves and chicanes. So yan. Ayan, pagdating doon sa streets, medyo mahina ang Ferrari at gumagamit na ng DRS ang sa likuran ko. So I think maganda nga sana pagdating ng mga susunod na taon, matanggal na tong DRS. Kasi nawawala yung yung medyo naging boring yung competition. Kasi alam mo na kapag malapit na, bigla kang mag-activate ng DRS, so mas ibilis yung yung sasakyan mo, especially na merong drop sa harapan mo. So yun. So sa mga curves yan, medyo iwasan ko pa. Pero pagdating dun sa streets, yan medyo nganga naman ako. Medyo mahina ang Ferrari within the streets. Saka medyo mataas yung difficulty din nito, kaya yun. At pagdating dun sa start finish line, so yun, activate na naman ng DRS. So dyan nagtitake advantage yung mga kalaban. So yan, within 0.8, so yan, nakikita nyo na bumibilis yung pagkat ng deficit ko because of the DRS. Kasi yung start finish line is also a DRS zone dito sa racetrack na to. So yan. So iwas lang sa sa mistakes. Yun may iniiwasan natin dito because yan, gaya niyan, nararamdaman ko na yung tire wear. Yan, gaya nun, pagdating doon sa chicane na yun, sa curves na yun, medyo nahirapan na ako. Ayan na. Sorry. Yan na, na ni Valtteri Bottas. Karoon kami ng collision. So he's taking the advantage na ma-cut niya ako dun sa outside lane. So we will have to do something about it. Yan. Pagdating naman sa mga curves yan, medyo advantage naman sa akin, but once na overtake na ako, wala na to. Kaya niyan, especially yun, no? Ayan na, ang DRS activated na uli. Sa likuran ko na, ayan na.
Some information on Kvyat. It looks like the problem is terminal. They're retiring the car.
Ayan. Ayan, may warning na ako kay Bottas. Pero kung sa standard na yun, dun sa standard na race, so if they are using the FIA restriction, so automatic penalize ako nun. So yan, yung teammate ko dito, si Sebastian Vettel. Sa kasi, sa 2021 season, so Vettel is not at the Ferrari team anymore. Nandun na siya sa Aston Martin. na dito sa F1 2020 season is the Racing Point. So yan. So hindi na extend yung contract ni Sergio Perez na ngayon ay nasa
Sebastian stopped. His race is over.
ngayon ay nasa
Caution,
Racing Point.
caution.
So yan. Na nasa ano ngayon, nasa Aston Martin, which is the Racing Point today. Kasi medyo lumayo na yung ano, medyo lumayo ng kalaban
This is your
because
final lap of the race.
they're taking care of the fuel itself. Since ako naman sinet ko ito sa full at ang setting lang naman ng gas ko dito is on the lean. So meaning minimum lang yung gamit ng fuel ko within the race. Pero syempre it will also hindi magagamit, mapupuli maximize yung paggamit yung pag gamit ng makina, yung engine natin. So yun yung mga advantages. So lighter on the max use of the gas, of the fuel. So syempre magagamit yung full potential, the full capacity of the engine. And at the same time, syempre you need to control yung paggamit ng fuel because pwede kasing dumating sa punto na nasa kalagitnaan ka ng race, you will be out of fuel. So yan. So final lap. So yan. So hindi na ako nahabol ni Verstappen dito. So yan na. I win.
Absolutely fantastic. It's a brilliant result. Well done.
Ayan, Sergio Perez nandito po sa nasa Racing Point pa. Ngayon kasi nasa na siya, nasa Red Bull, replacing si Albon. Ba pangalan niya? Alexander Albon. The great
I
side.
think a large part of the result comes down to temperament. They were able to keep their heads when everyone around them
na
was losing
Red Bull
theirs.
medyo
And that's allowed them to
mataas
get
ang
the best out of
standard
the car,
within
to
their
maximise the
drivers.
strategy and to stay out of trouble.
So
And here
kahit
we
na
are, a
maganda rin
team
yung
that is no
performance si
stranger
Albon,
to the
so
podium, taking their place on
he's
top
been
once
replaced
again.
by
A sublime race today,
Sergio
and a
Perez at
stunning
the end
win
of the
for
season.
Ferrari.
So yeah. As you know na maganda rin yung last year is the breakout season of Sergio Perez for winning his first Grand Prix here in Bahrain also, Shakir. Which is gutted by we saw the gutted version of George Russell. So yan. So after this race, what we're gonna do is we will
Some amazing talents out on the
view
track today.
the
But Anthony, who would you pick as your
replay.
driver of the day?
But there was a lot of incredible driving out there today, Crop.
So we will view first the highlights. Pero maiksi lang to pag highlights eh. So we will view first the highlights. Then oops. 3. So yan, ayusin lang natin. So F1. So ano to? So exit photo mode at ano na tayo? Continue. We will continue. Ba to? 3. Ayan. Then. Ay! Sorry. So we will view again the highlights. Ayan. Namin with Lewis Hamilton kanina on the first part of the race. So yan. Yun yung encounter namin with Nicolas Latifi. Ayan. So again, we will stream again whenever there's another race. So we will play again F1 2020. We will stream F1 2020 after the next race. So hindi ko matandaan kung saan, pero ang alam ko sa Italy ba? Sorry. Ayan. Yun yung collision namin with Max Verstappen, tapos ito yung kay Valtteri Bottas. We also have collision. So nagkaroon ng konting collision. So yan, nagkaroon ng spin. Yun yung nangyari kay Valtteri Bottas. So if you can see, binigyan ko siya ng space dun sa kanyang racing line, kasi kapag hindi, so I will be given a penalty. So yan. So we will view the full replay. So yan. So we will emphasize all the racers. So yan, that's Lewis Hamilton. That's Valtteri Bottas. As you can see, so I consider myself a variety streamer. I'm not sticking to Euro Truck Simulator always. Siyempre kahit pa paano, we need to show other viewers na hindi puro racing, hindi puro Euro Truck ang nilalaro ko. So yan. That's Sebastian Vettel. That's Kevin Magnussen. The current lineup for Haas. So hindi na sila yung current drivers within the Haas team. Hindi na rin si Romain Grosjean. So they've been replaced by two young promising drivers. The F2, the current F2 champion, Mick Schumacher, and the other one is the son of a Russian tycoon. So that's Nikita Mazepin. So if you have watched the race itself, so Mazepin spun out on turn 3 on the very first lap yesterday, and it caused the race to go on a safety car immediately. So yan. So dito sa lineup na to, dito sa ating F1 2020, so ang wala na sa current just sa roster name is Kevin Magnussen, Romain Grosjean, tapos sa Alpha Tauri si Daniel Kvyat na is been replaced by Yuki Tsunoda. So a very young Japanese driver. So kasi ano naman siya he's been backed up by Honda. And since Red Bull has been backed by the engine supplier of Red Bull is Honda, so the Honda engine itself is they want a Japanese driver to represent F1. So after the F2 season, so he's been given a seat sa Alpha Tauri na kung saan ito yung second team ng Red Bull. So this is based in Italy. Ayan. Ito yung dating Minardi, I think. Dating Minardi in the 90s. So yan. Na kung saan itong Alpha Tauri ay ano ba? All in their existence, so they have won 2 races, several podiums. So ang last na panalo ng Alpha Tauri is last year with Pierre Gasly. So yeah. He won the race in Monza, Italy, in the Italian Grand Prix. So yeah. And the first one is won also at the Italian Grand Prix, this time by a very young Sebastian Vettel, na kung saan he won that in 2008 and the year after he immediately promoted to the first team, so yun yung Red Bull, and the rest is history. Winning 4 titles there, racing World Championship, Drivers World Championship. Yan. So this one is the Alfa Romeo, driven by Kimi Raikkonen and Antonio Giovinazzi. So yeah, they are also the current drivers now of the 2021 calendar. So these are the teams supplied by Ferrari are Alpha Tauri. Sorry, it's Alfa Romeo and Haas. So yan yung mga customer nilang ano. So these drivers within these teams, those are 2 teams, so they are given a chance to on the first team, so the Scuderia Ferrari. Ayan.
So that one is Williams. So they're they've been driven by George Russell and Nicolas Latifi. So George Russell, former F2 champion. Ayan. In which last year nagkaroon ng nung nagkaroon ng COVID si Lewis Hamilton, so he's been replaced by George Russell. So uh, he's done a marvelous job that race. So that's the Shakir Grand Prix, in which only fumbled by pit strategies of the team. So yan. Yun yung one of the most disappointing gut wrench disappointments dun sa season last year, in which within his grasp yon, George Russell almost win the race, pero because of their pit strategy, whatever you call that, eh wala. By the way, one of the happy part of that race is also that is also his first points. So yan. He finished 9th. Sayang nga eh. Nagkaroon na ng maling strategy do sa una. Tapos biglang sasabihan siya ng team na merong may puncture daw dun sa gulong niya, na which is parang doon naman sa within the whole race. I also to watch the race eh. And nakabalik na siya dun sa second place, then unfortunately, so yun, mahabol na niya si Sergio Perez eh. Coming from last place. Hindi yun eh, one of the remarkable races we had on the F1 2020. So yan. So yan, balik tayo kay Charles Leclerc. So yun, coming from last place on for the first lap, then winning the entire thing, so it's a great accomplishment. So that yun yung na-take notice sa Red Bull na kunin siya. We know that they have great academy, but this time, so they go on a driver without outside their academy. So yan. And the performance of Sergio Perez took notice of it. So yan. So, ano ba masasabi ko last year? So, last year, ang hindi lang nakascore ng points is last season is the Williams. No. Oh yeah, the Williams team. Yan. Because team has scored with Roman Grosjean and Kevin Magnussen last year. Magiging first point sana ng Williams last year if you watch the I don't remember if that's the race in Mugello or Estoril in Portugal. So yan, he almost snatch up 10th place to get Williams first point. So but regardless, they did a spectacular job despite na lost all their sponsorship. Then in the middle of the season, the owners itself, so they sell the team to an American company. So the principal, Claire Williams. So they sold the team at the middle of the, I think it's uh kalimutan ko na. I don't remember on which race, but one of the most memorable ones. I think it's Monza in Italy or in San Marino in Imola. Ayan. One of the last race na hinandle ng Williams family headed by Sir Frank Williams and his daughter, ayan, Claire. So yan. Kasi wala na eh, nagkakaubusan na ng pondo and they want to continue the legacy of Williams. So, uh, it's better na to have refunding. So, they sell this to an American company. Hindi ko na matandaan kung anong pangalan ng company. So, yan. So, yan. That's Valtteri Bottas. So, check natin. Hindi na maano. And that's Max Verstappen. So after this race, after this highlight, so we will end the stream. So this is only a short stream. So pinakita lang natin yung full race. Hindi naman actually full race. Yung I want to feel also the experience playing F1. Pero hindi ko naman total kasi pinapalabas on stream. So hindi ko siya ini-stream talaga. I'm only playing this on my personal intentions, personal game. So yeah. But I think it's okay lang. Okay lang naman. Wala naman kaso. So, syempre prepared naman ako na no one will watch this. And most of the people will watch Euro Truck Simulator 2. But it's okay. Don't mind. Saka regular schedule naman talaga natin is weekends, Wednesdays and weekends. So yan. Kay Sebastian Vettel. Ayan yung McLaren Renault. Pero alam ko this season they got their supply on Mercedes na rin eh, ang McLaren. So yun yung car ni Daniel Ricciardo sa Renault na currently he's driving at Mercedes, at McLaren. Na yung Renault ngayon is called the Alpine team, which driven by Sebastian Ocon and the returning Fernando Alonso. So yan. Sayang nga at yung race kagabi, we expect Alonso to got some points because we started at 9th place. So nakaabot siya doon sa Q3, qualifying 3. But unfortunately, wala. May mga certain things happen, so wala. And is also Yuki Tsunoda's first points at AlphaTauri. So that's a nice thing. So yun. So Ferrari yesterday, so Leclerc start at 4th unfortunately, he only can manage to finish 6th. And Carlos Sainz finished in 8th place. So, yan. So, since wala tayong pasok, we need an ECQ na today. The start of ECQ here in NCR Plus. So it will start today and it will finish by Sunday. But before this week, so yung nakaraang linggo is GCQ na ewan ko ba. As you can see na patasang ang surge, the sudden surge of positive cases. So yan. I encourage all of you to follow the safety protocols. I know that we have to do our work. Kailangan natin magtrabaho, but we must also remind ourselves that we have to be safe. Maging ligtas tayo lagi, especially napakabilis ng transmission nung COVID. So yan. So yon, start ng ECQ ngayon. So yan. So paalala lang po sa ating mga kasama. So stay safe always. Bring sanitizers, do social distancing. Watch the advertisement of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Japan. So, maganda sana magawa yung practice na yon. Kasi, first of all, we need in order to do these things, in order to do the protocols, so unang-una kailangan talaga natin is discipline. We need to discipline ourselves. I know it's difficult, especially in our status today, but wala namang masama kung susundin natin. At kailangan na talaga disiplina, yun lang talaga yung kasi we know that Japan is in a state of emergency. Pero sabihin natin may pondo o wala, they are very disciplined people. Kaya kahit papaano they can control the outbreak, yung pagtaas ng kaso. So, maganda rin sana makita din natin yun. Ma-apply natin dito sa bansa natin. Because, yan, papalo na ng 10,000 yung kaso. And it's not a good number na makita. Despite na nandyan na yung bakuna. Di pa rin bumababa. So, yan. Kasi nga, ito rin nakikita natin is wala talaga disiplina. So, yun lang yun. Alam nating mahirap ang buhay, kailangan magtrabaho, pero kailangan natin ding mag-ingat. Disiplina naman po, yan lang po. Kumbaga, I'm not siding with the government, pero since may mga protocols naman tayo, sunod lang tayo. So yan, back to the race. So, nilaro ko na to kanina and you're watching the highlights. No, not the highlights, the full replay of the game na nilaro ko. So yan. in which I drove Charles Leclerc. So yan. So yan, last place si Lance Stroll. Sir Lancelot. Ayan, that's Antonio Giovinazzi. No, that's Kimi Raikkonen, the number 7 car. Oops, sorry. Ah, wala na. Ano yung napindot ko? So, yan. So, again, we will view the highlights of the game before we finish this. So, yan. 1 hour mark naman rin na tayo. So, yan. And lights out! And it's a way to go! Yan. Ang ako dito is si Charles Leclerc. So, one of the promising drivers of Ferrari. So, the next race, so we will stream again F1 2020 within 25% of the 25% of the full race. Yun yung stream natin. So, ano naman yon? It will be a surprise stream. So, mostly hindi to antabayanan, but okay lang. Because I'm an F1 fan, so I want to show all of you yung the game itself. So, yan. Ang problema lang, since yung F1 2020 is released in the middle of the year, I think it's April. I don't know, no. That's August ni-release ang F1 2020. So, 4 months na lang, 2021 na. So, it will take time na maglabas uli ang Codemasters na ngayon ay hawak na uli ng EA Games. So, yan. Na maglabas. In terms naman dun sa MotoGP, so MotoGP was released last year, April last year. So, the release of MotoGP 21 will be on April. So ngayon, next week. I think it's on the 3rd week, I think. So yan, 3rd week of the year. 3rd week of April. So yan. So yan yung highlights. So yan yung ating that is the almost I covered the highlights and the replay, the full race replay. So yeah. So as you can see, this is only a game, and if you have watched the race yesterday, it was won by Lewis Hamilton again. And second place was Max Verstappen, but Red Bull. One of the highlights of the race yesterday was the almost overtake of Max Verstappen, but unfortunately he drove outside of the racing line. Lumabas siya sa racing circuit, so when he returned on the racetrack, so nandun na si Lewis Hamilton, and he will have to give way kasi lumabas siya ng racing track. So ang rules nun is when a driver drove outside the racing track and meron siyang back marker sa likod, so he will have to give up the place. So yan. Na which is binigay niya yung place. And after niyang binigay, so he take full charge. Unfortunately, kinapos lang. So Lewis Hamilton won the race by 7/10, no, 700ths of a second. So yan. So sayang yun. And alam naman nating boring ng manood ng F1 because of Lewis Hamilton's domination. And also that will be, I think that will be his last season. Itong season na to. It will be his last season. So I think yun, maganda na yun. May iba naman, boring. Pero anyway, that will be my stream for today. For this F1 2020. So ginawa lang natin ng game tong race yesterday. So yan. So yan. So anyway, thank you for watching kung may nanood man. Pero barkada ko lang nanood. Pero anyway, regardless, mapapanood naman to kung may mapapadaan. So yan. Thank you very much again for watching and see you guys next time for the next race of the Formula 1 2021 season. So thank you guys and goodbye. Good day to all of you. Stay safe. Stay safe always. Bye.